Hi, my name is Maggie Thompson. I'm the campaign manager for Higher Ed Not Debt. We're a multi-year, multi-organization campaign housed out of Generation Progress, and we're dedicated to tackling the student debt crisis. Thank you so much to Senators Murphy and Durbin for their leadership on this issue. It's an honor to be here today. Our organization and our partners first began working on the issue of for-profit colleges when we realized that many of the students that we were hearing from who were struggling with their student debt had attended for-profit schools. Through the collapse of Corinthian colleges, we realized how important it was for these schools to be held accountable to the students that they deceived. Almost half, as the senator said, of all the defaults on student loans in this country come from students who attended a for-profit institution. It's impossible to have an honest conversation about how to address the student debt crisis without addressing the huge role that these schools play in the debt crisis. The Students Before Profit Act provides crucial oversight to ensure that students that were deceived by a predatory institution can be made whole again, and that the executives who profited off of these students are held accountable. It's simple. No student should ever be forced into or kept in poverty by the college that they attended. Our campaign has currently heard from almost 9,000 students through our site sellingOutStudents.org. These students all signed a petition asking for a refund from their schools and shared their stories with us. I'm honored to be here today to convey some of their stories. The students we hear from are often financially stressed and unable to find jobs in the career field they pursued at for-profit institutions. Let me walk you through some of the things that we hear from students from these institutions. Unfortunately, none of these students were able to be here today, but we also have the contact information for several of them that we'll be able to talk to with my coworker Charlotte. Several of these students were misled about what their job prospects would be upon graduation. Paul is a student and a veteran who attended WyoTech, a Corinthian school in Pennsylvania. He studied to be an auto tech, never received any of the promised job placement help from the school he was promised, but finally, on his own initiative, was able to land a job. This after hearing from several employers that they just did not respect the degree that he had earned from WyoTech. Paul is lucky. His employer told him that WyoTech didn't provide him the training he needed for the job, but is helping him to go back to trade school to get the skills he needs. Several other students were also lied to about their eligibility to qualify for certain jobs. One woman at Virginia College in Alabama, for example, was promised she could become a nurse despite telling the school that she had a felony conviction that was several decades old. She spent 3 years at the school, working hard. She now has tens of thousands of dollars in debt and cannot be employed as a nurse due to the felony the school promised her would never be relevant. Students at these schools also often struggle with the quality of their programs. Peyton from Daphne told us that his professors were often confused about what they were teaching, and in one class the professor had never used the software they were supposed to be teaching. Peyton was attending an IT program at ITT Tech. Peyton told us he was embarrassed that he was taken in by the promises of ITT Tech, but that when they recruited him he was, quote, so excited because I never thought I was the type of person who would ever be able to attend college. These schools are preying on the aspirations of students like Peyton. These students will never get back the time they spent at these predatory institutions, but at the very least, with efforts like the Students Before Profits bill, they can be made financially whole and able to pursue their dreams. It's past time for Washington to act on behalf of these students to rein in the abuses of these institutions. Thank you again to Senators Durbin and Murphy for leading the way to help these students and hold these schools and executives accountable.